Most unsafe water doesn't look unsafe. That's what makes this problem easy to ignore. If your water is clear, has no strong smell, and tastes normal, it's easy to assume everything is fine. But in reality, some of the most important warning signs are either subtle, or completely invisible, and that's where people get caught off guard. Water is something you use every single day. You drink it, cook with it, and rely on it without thinking much about it. But when something is off, the signs aren't always obvious, and they don't always show up right away. So instead of asking, "Is my water safe?" a better question is, "Would I even know if it wasn't?" Let's go through the signs. The first category is the most obvious. Changes you can see. If your water suddenly looks cloudy, discolored, or has visible particles, that's a clear signal something isn't right. Brown or yellow tones can point to rust or sediment, often coming from aging pipes. Tiny floating particles might indicate debris moving through the system, but here's the problem: not all unsafe water looks different. In many cases, water can be completely clear and still contain contaminants. So while visual changes are important, they're only part of the picture. The second category is smell. Water that has a strong odor, like chlorine, sulfur, or a musty scent, can indicate chemical imbalances or bacterial presence. For example, rotten egg smell is often linked to sulfur compounds, which may come from natural sources or plumbing issues, but again, absence of smell doesn't guarantee safety. Some contaminants have no odor at all. The third category is taste. If your water suddenly tastes metallic, bitter, or unusual, it may be picking up substances from pipes or local conditions. A metallic taste can sometimes be associated with metals like iron or copper, but taste is subjective. People get used to it. What seems normal to one person might not be ideal from a quality standpoint. So while taste can be a clue, it's not a reliable indicator on its own. Now let's move to the less obvious signs. Point 1 of them is buildup. If you notice white residue on faucets, dishes, or inside kettles, that usually points to hard water. High levels of minerals like calcium and magnesium. While hard water is not necessarily dangerous, it tells you something about what's in your water, and if minerals can build up visibly, other substances may also be present without leaving clear traces. Another sign is changes in your plumbing. If your pipes clog more often, or if water pressure changes unexpectedly, it could be related to sediment or buildup in the system. These issues don't always mean contamination, but they suggest your water system isn't stable. Then there's something even more subtle: how your body reacts. Occasional stomach discomfort, skin irritation, or dryness can sometimes be linked to water quality. These symptoms are easy to overlook because they can have many causes, but when patterns repeat, it's worth paying attention. Still, this is where things become tricky. None of these signs alone can confirm that your water is unsafe. They are indicators, not proof, and in many cases, the most concerning contaminants don't create any noticeable signs at all. That's the biggest challenge. You could be drinking water every day that looks, smells, and tastes fine, but still contains substances you're not aware of. Why does this happen? Because of what occurs between the source and your home. Water is treated before it reaches you. But once it leaves the treatment facility, it travels through a network of pipes. These pipes can be old, worn, or affected by environmental conditions. As water moves through them, it can pick up materials along the way, and this process is not always consistent. Weather, maintenance work, and local infrastructure can all influence what ends up coming out of your tap. Even your own home plumbing plays a role. Water that sits in pipes overnight can absorb more from the materials it contacts. That means your first glass in the morning may not be the same as water used later in the day. So what does all of this mean? It means you can't rely on a single sign to judge your water. You need a broader perspective. Instead of asking, "Does my water look okay?" the better approach is, "Do I actually know what's in my water?" And that leads to the key insight. The biggest warning sign is not what you see, smell, or taste. It's not knowing, because when you don't have information, you're making decisions based on assumptions, and with something as essential as water, assumptions are not enough. So what can you do? The first step is simple: verify. Testing your water gives you a clearer understanding of its current condition. It doesn't have to be complicated. Even basic testing can reveal useful information about things like pH levels, mineral content, and certain contaminants. From there, you can decide how to respond. Some people choose to install filtration systems. Others explore different ways to improve water quality at home, depending on their situation and budget. The important part is that you're making an informed decision. You're no longer guessing, and once you take that step, everything becomes more manageable, because instead of reacting to problems after they appear, you're addressing them before they grow. So, What are the signs your water is unsafe to drink? Some are visible, some are subtle, and some don't appear at all. That's why awareness matters more than any single symptom. If you pay attention to the signs, and take steps to understand your water, you reduce uncertainty, and when you reduce uncertainty, you gain control. If you found this useful, consider subscribing for more straightforward and practical insights like this. And if you want to go a step further and see how some people are approaching water quality at home with simple, structured methods, there's a resource in the description that breaks this down step by step. It can help you better understand your options and decide what makes sense for your situation.